everything changes in such a graceful way. And things that were made rotten and broken and old and dilapidated can be made so beautiful. Right now I'm looking at a building that was right next to a building that I used to live in when I was a kid. And I have a memory of going inside it when it was all abandoned. And it had been for, I think, over 100 years. It was an old mill building. Me and my sister walked around and there was trash and old machinery and creepy, weird stuff and bones everywhere. And now it's a beautiful apartment complex. And the same can go for human beings and our inner world. We can feel so broken inside and empty and filled with trash, and things can get cleaned up before you even know it. And you can be in the process of it getting cleaned up and not even know it. And look back one day at how you used to feel, see an old picture of yourself and be like, wow, I feel a lot cleaner. I feel new. Don't ever give up hope that whatever you're going through, whatever sickness or feeling of being unclean or dirty or some chaos and mayhem in your life, whether it's external or internal, in your job, in your relationship, in your home, whatever it is, it can be cleaned and made new. And you might be, like I said, in the process of it being cleaned and not even know. It might be being cleaned for you by God, by some deeper part of you that is working through grace to have everything move in a beautiful way. And sometimes that beautiful way cannot seem so beautiful. Sometimes the pain and the trauma and the suffering and the work that comes with making something new when it's old and beaten, the strenuousness that comes with it can feel like trauma and chaos in itself, and sometimes it is. But the Lord has a way of making it all work in your favor, in the favor of those who He loves highest good. And it's a beautiful thing to surrender to belief in that instead of believing that everything is stagnant. When we have hope that things can be made new, we allow that grace for them to be made new. And it's just an optimism. It's a glass half full instead of empty. It's a trust. It's a giving up into knowing that there is good in this world when the news and pessimistic people and whatever it is can try to make you believe that that's not the case. It is. There's so much beauty in this world. And when you avert yourself from that influence of pessimism into the beauty, into gratitude for what is, you open up that space for that optimism, for that hope. And sometimes it could be a swaying between that. But when you know that it's there, you know that you can find your way back to that optimism and that hope. And it's not a force. It's not a being mad at yourself for not being optimistic. It's not a being hard on yourself for being not okay, or being pessimistic, or being influenced by negative things. It's a knowing and a trust that, like I said, things become beautiful. And that your pain and your suffering and your trauma can and with trust and faith will be made into your highest good. It can seem kind of cliche, but it's like the butterfly being in a cocoon. You look at a cocoon, it's like just looks like a little hunk of brown, you know, a little hunk of brown something, and it doesn't look beautiful. And there's something inside that's going through this metamorphosis of being this kind of, I don't know, caterpillars. Some people find them cute and fuzzy and whatnot, but they can kind of be gross, you know. And this thing goes into this little heap of brown nugget and goes through whatever it's going through inside. But who knows if that process is turbulent and painful and excruciating for its being. You don't know. It probably is, because it's being made into something new. And on that other side of that brown heap of something nugget comes this beautiful thing that flies away, forgetting what it once was and moving into the future with a graceful sweetness that leads it. And it doesn't look back on what it was. It just enjoys what it is. And, there's probably somebody watching this who's in that little brown nugget, and they're feeling the turbulence and the nastiness of what they once were. And maybe they're in between. They are in between that beauty and that nastiness. And just have hope that this process that you're going through is something that's being worked through you. It's something that you were made for. It's something that's part of your design to become something beautiful. Just like this building that I'm looking at. How many people walked through this and saw it as an old dilapidated piece of trash that, homeless people walked around and just left trash everywhere, and it made it all fallen apart, and they saw it as something that was beyond repair until it was seen with hope of what could be made new. God sees us in that way. And it's not a doing, it's a happening. So enjoy that happening. Just like I said in my last video. What's the alternative? Peace and love.